Hello, my name is Matt Marquess. I'm an assistant professor and the director of the radiation therapy program at Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the United States. Today I'm going to discuss assessing image competence of radiation therapy students using simulation software. In the United States, most medical imaging and radiation science programs are accredited by the JRCERT, or the Joint Review Committee on Education and Radiologic Technology. They're based out of Chicago. Accreditation is a voluntary process, so not all programs are accredited. However, for a student to get a job, it is likely that the facility where they're applying for a job will require that they are graduates of an accredited program. In order for a program to maintain accreditation, they have to show that the program meets 6 major standards. We're going to talk about standard 6 today, which measures program effectiveness and assessment. Specifically, we're going to talk about standard 6.3, which says that the program has a systematic assessment plan that facilitates ongoing improvement. And so each program is required, and this is really when you have a site visit or when you do a self-study. This is, if your assessment plan is weak, you're going to have a difficult time getting a full accreditation without any citations or any kind of setbacks, really. So having that outcomes and assessment plan is really important, and I'm going to show you a sample of one page of mine on the next page. So what we're looking at here is my program's actual outcomes and assessment plan. In the left-hand column, well, this is the first page of the outcomes and assessment plan. It's about 4 or 5 pages. This page represents our first goal. Goal 1 is to provide the community with entry-level radiation therapists. And on the left-hand side, you'll see 3 skills that we feel are essential for an entry-level radiation therapist. The first, you see, if you look at B, and we're just going to talk about the ones in red. So it says students will demonstrate appropriate imaging skills. So in radiation therapy, over the past 10 years, image guidance has been a huge component of what we do. And basically what we're doing is we perform a miniature CAT scan on the patient on the treatment machine, and we fuse that image with the images that were taken for the patient's treatment planning session. And we can fine-tune the patient's positioning so that we can get the area of interest within millimeters of where we want it. So in order for me to assess a student's competence, I sit down with them in a lab at our university, and we have the software, the VERT software, and I can run a sample patient with some error on the patient that puts the patient out of the correct position. And then I use this as an opportunity to teach the student how to use the software, how to use the interface. And I have parameters that I expect. So for the first time that they do this, I don't expect they'll be very good at it. And I do this in the fall. And I look for that they get the patient within a certain position. And then I'm going to measure this again at the end of their time at the university. And we expect to see that more than 90% of the students will be within the tolerance during that second matching assessment. So because of COVID-19, we're hearing that it's likely that we are not going to be back on campus as we were in the past, and that we may be staggered. I've been working at home since March, early March, as many of you have as well. And so we have to figure out ways to kind of do the same thing that we've been doing, but just in a remote environment. So fortunately, VERT has the ability, the virtual software that some of you are familiar with. They have a cone beam CT software. So as I mentioned, I sit down with students next to each other in the lab, and we work together. Now, with COVID-19, I'm not going to be able to go into the city as often as I can, and so our labs are going to be really limited. Fortunately, I can purchase VERT and have it installed on my home laptop. And then what I can do is I can set up a Zoom call or any kind of a remote meeting with my students one-on-one. I can allow them to take over my computer and practice it. And I can talk to them and we can work through it really just like we were sitting next to each other. So I think with the future and the current environment in the future, this is going to be a really big thing for programs to have to do. And so this is something that we're looking forward to implementing this coming year with our new students in September. So I want to thank you. I know this is a very brief presentation. I look forward to hearing any questions, and I could hopefully share some images of the software I'm looking to get from the vendor. But in the meantime, thank you again, and I hope you all are well and safe. Take care.